the video. That's the same topic, bro. Let's move on to Michael B. Jordan. And who was the guy with him? His co-host. What was his name? Anybody?
Delroy Lindo.
Okay, he was called the N-word not once but twice, and I want y'all to take on it. Um, well, I forgot the white guy. Somebody can help me out. Ty, anybody? The white guy who had Tourette's. That's why I say, man, we don't got time to be beef on one another, man. We got a common enemy, bro. We got a common enemy. And right now, he's colonizing and throwing slurs and doing whatever he want to do. We should not be fighting one another at this point. It don't make no sense. He was called the N-word by somebody pull up
John
the name.
Davidson.
Yeah, who had Tourette's syndrome. There's a lot of things that's wrong with this situation. One, again, white jealousy. The movie had so much success, they can't stand it. That's one. Two, they said that it was not selective, it was by accident. I don't know too much about Tourette's syndrome, but I'm sure a couple white people came up on stage before them and got their award, and the word crack or honky didn't come out. You feel me?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody say cracker, cracker, honky, honky. Ain't nobody say that. You feel me?
Right.
That's all.
That's real. That's real,
Facts.
bro.
Facts.
And not only that, but he didn't issue an apology. Okay, he may not be
But we've been
mentally
saying
equipped.
this.
He
I
may
don't
not
mean to
be.
cut your wisdom. I don't mean to cut your wisdom, Lord. But how many times have we said on this podcast that you can disrespect? I'm not even. I'm not going to use that word. You feel me? You can disrespect a black man or a black person all you want to. You feel me? He said other offensive things. You feel me? Hold on, not him. Somebody else has said free Palestine, and the BBC, the British broadcasting company decided that they were going to censor out free Palestine, but they left the N word with the hard ER. You feel me? So that's a bigger part of the issue. And my thing is like this: a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he shouldn't have to apologize because he can't help it." I'm like, yo, even if he can't help it, he knows he still offended somebody. So yes, he should apologize. Why
100%.
are they being made to have to be the bigger person in this situation? Like, oh, if they should just go ahead and accept his apology, like no, they shouldn't have to do anything. They're the ones who got violated. And I commend them with being able to stay professional and for not saying anything back. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there was a million other, they had other options, you feel me? And they chose the most professional option during that circumstance. But it's just crazy to me how a lot of black people who have Tourette's are coming out and defending dude. And it's like, yo, I understand that he has a certain type, like he has Tourette's, but he has something else too that starts with a C. I don't know exactly what it's called, but it's like a more aggressive form of Tourette's. You feel me? But it's like, okay, but my thing is like this: even if he didn't mean to say it, clearly he comes from a culture where he knows that word. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
somebody around him has said that word before with the hard ER. You get what I'm saying? So even if he's not racist, he's clearly around people or has seen people use that word before.
I'm
You
not
know what
gonna
I
give
mean?
him that pass. I'm not gonna give him that pass,
I'm
skills.
not giving
You
him a
all.
pass at all. He
No,
needs to
no, 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 no. I'm not
apologize.
saying. I'm not saying that you giving them a pass, but it's an old saying. You all who you hang around,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to know because I haven't did my research. I'm sorry, but I want to know: is that a condition that you're born with, or that's something that occurs like Alzheimer's? Anybody? Is that a symptom that you're born with? Your
I
mic
don't
muted,
know.
Gov.
I'm not even sure.
Gov, your mic muted.
It's something people born with. A lot of people have it. They got various forms of it. They call it tics as well. I know some
Okay,
people.
so ask me this: how's this even in his vocabulary?
I'm saying because it's everywhere. That's everywhere. It's in all the common. It's all the movies, music. It's everywhere. So that's easy for it to be. But here's the thing: the BBC made it very. They were very picky as to what they chose to censor and not censor. You see what I mean? I think that's the bigger story. They made it a point because it's like you got Delroy Lindo and Michael B. Jordan, right? They on stage. That's like a humiliation ritual right in front for everyone. So they all got to get called that. But you know what I mean? So it's like one of those type of things. They keep playing these games, and we keep falling for it. So now they're gonna say they're gonna use the whole Tourette's thing as the thing that everything is on, instead of what the overall thing I think really was. You know what I mean? It's like here's another chance to humiliate, another chance to bring it down, and without going, see, they could have immediately said, all right, look, this is not what we about. You know what I mean? And they could have handled that right then during the whole award show, but they just let it keep on going like it was no big deal.
I think that they should. I think they should be sued as guardians. Real talk. They need some type of reparation for their pain and suffering, because this is global.
Could you imagine if a Jewish person would have went up there to accept an award?
Yeah,
he would have said
that's
some
what I'm
crazy
saying.
wild shit.
I don't think he would have said it. I don't think he would have said it.
If they
No, he wouldn't have said. But I'm saying if he would have, he would be taking classes right now about Jewish history. You feel me? It would be all types of outrage. The JDL would be down his throat.
Yep.
Real talk.
He would have put out his Kanye letter.
Look, I don't even think if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think Tourette's challenges you intellectually where you don't understand the impact and your intent. You know what I mean?
It happens without their control. It'll come out before they even know it's gonna come out.
No,
you know?
no. What I'm saying is like you can say something, you can involuntarily say something
Right.
but that doesn't mean you don't have the capacity
No,
to understand.
you are correct, bro. He understands that it's a word it's a word that should not be said.
Yeah.
He can't control saying it, but he knows the history of the word and knows it's a word he shouldn't be saying.
Right.
And because of that, it should be an apology. But their community is trying to make it seem like if he apologizes for this, he's apologizing for his disability. And it's like, no, that's not what we're saying. You're apologizing for violating these two black men. We're not trying to make you apologize for having a disability. And he has Tourette's with, I think it's called coprolalia. It's like a very aggressive form of Tourette's. You feel me? But even that being said, that doesn't erase the fact that he has knowledge of the history of that.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to know if I'm just curious to know who was on stage before Michael B. Jordan and I keep forgetting the young man, the other guy's name. I'm so disrespectful.
Delroy Lindo.
Yeah, who was on stage before them, and why didn't this guy with Tourette's come out and blurred out racial slurs towards their ethnicity?
He made other slurs. I mean, not slurs, but he was blurting out other things. I don't remember what they said he was saying, but he was doing a bunch of random things during other people. But they didn't. They bleeped all of the other ones out. We just get that one. You see what I mean? So that to me is like they highlighting it. They making it a point to highlight it. You see? So it's like almost like as if to say, I don't care what year it is. 1826, 1926, 2026, you still gonna get the same treatment.
Look here, this is the way I look at it, man. It ain't never going to stop until us as a people start doing lawsuits, start boycotting stuff, and holding people accountable for it. Because it's not a mistake. They're doing it on purpose. We know they're doing it on purpose. It happens every few years or so, every decade. There's always some kind of scandal. From a corporation, from an award show, it's always some kind of scandal. And like, I don't understand. Basically, this is the last straw. Like, it's time for us to start, like, start fighting back for real. Like, I'm sorry, ain't cutting it no more. It's just not.
Right. And we shouldn't want to be in their company in those type of venues anyway. If these venues are known for their historical means of racism and bigotry and biasness, why don't we just start our own thing? I believe BET was doing something about it, then we sold out. It's sad because I asked my Omi before she passed away many years ago, right? I said, in the 70s and 60s, I said, who owned all these stores around here before the Arabs and the Asian people came along and monopolized the black community, right? With these stores. She said it was us. We owned these stores. And I said, what happened? She said, we sold out.
Right.
But we didn't just sell
out.
out though, Lord. We got to think about this too. You feel me? And I understand about real power is people. You know what I mean? As far as black leaders go, I understand your stance on Brother Malcolm. You feel me? I would say after him, Huey Newton. You feel me? Fred Hampton. Fred Hampton probably got it the closest. You know what I mean? But like that's another argument for another day. But my point is, not only did people sell their businesses, but once we got integrated, people started going to outside businesses and we started losing money within our community. You feel me? And not only did we lose money within our community, but we also lost the loyalty. You feel me? It was like for example, when you mentioned the 20s, when the majority of America was going through the Great Depression, we really didn't have them issues because we wasn't allowed to use a lot of their resources and go to have their own thing. We had our own shit. So us being excluded from that, like while they were going through the Great Depression and shit like that, we had the Harlem Renaissance. We were good. You feel me? Like because we had our own shit and we had our own infrastructure and we had a loyalty to each other.
That's right.
Physically
and I don't find
I
don't find nothing wrong with that.
Right.
My thing is when, like I said, when you make it a stream where you don't want to deal with your own kind because they're in certain sets, or you block the barter system from other nationalities. We know that we can't grow our own doggone oil, so we're going to have to go to the Arabs or the Middle Easterns and build a relationship. We can't just say, oh, yeah, I hate all Arabs, yo. Okay, then don't use our oil. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. But other than that, I agree with you 100%. You know what I'm saying? We got to have our own communities, our own stores, our own resources, and that's how you build a community in the government. But yeah,
and now devil's advocate.
Yeah, the fact that he did not. No, you good, man. My bad. The fact that he didn't apologize, or okay, he's not capable of apologizing. So I know of. He didn't have somebody.
No, they're saying that the Tourette's community is basically saying that if he apologizes, then he's apologizing for something that he can't control. And it's like, no, that's not what we're asking you to apologize for. But to play devil's advocate, and what I feel like is the bigger issue here, and which is another reason why he won't apologize, the president of the United States last week, it was either last week or earlier this week, shared a meme with Barack and Michelle Obama as apes. If he's not going to apologize, he's the president of the United States, how are we going to expect this person with Tourette's to apologize? These are two different things, but they both related. They both in the same vein. You get what I'm saying? One person has control.
I don't understand why anybody asking for an apology. Shoot, burn the place down if you ask me.
See,
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Tired of it.
See, we keep.
They're going to keep doing. It's going to keep happening until we actually do something about it.
Right.
I feel you, but I'm saying if we can't expect the person who's in the highest position of the country and the person who's supposed to in a position that's supposed to have high morality, you feel me? If that person isn't going to apologize for violating like that, we know this person not going to.
Right. Mm-hmm. Here's another thing too, though. We always go through this thing. Now, say about 100 years ago, baseball was the big thing, right? They had black players weren't allowed to play in Major League Baseball. So we had the Negro Leagues at the time, and they was actually doing pretty good. Now, imagine if we didn't make that push to jump over the Major League and kept that league going. You see what I mean? So we do things like that, but we're so busy trying to get with the mainstream, trying to get the main approval in a way. We trying to get the masses approval when we should just stick with what we doing. That's what happened with a lot of the things that's going on. We got all the leagues now, sport leagues going on, and we see how it goes. They're owned by a majority one, but who's playing in the leagues? Who's over there taking all the pain and only getting paid just a portion? You see what I'm saying? So we're playing this game. We seen it happen to us in the music game. We seen it happen to us all around. You know what I mean? But at the same, we think, huh?
I don't want to cut your wisdom. I said the music game is nightmarish, bro.
That's what I mean. So we're seeing it. That's like exploitation on the super level right there. Because we get to see where they pimp these folks out, they dress them up, barely want to give them pennies. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, when it come down to it, then they turn around and then hold them accountable, like as if they're the ones that caused all of everything. You see what I'm saying? So, and it's crazy the game that we play, and we just we let these folks play them. When instead we should say, you know what? Circle the wagons. We gonna do our thing.
Yeah, I had my thing about Michael Jordan. I'm sure we all do. And if we don't, I mean, that's your opinion. But I had my own thing about Jordan. How I feel about him. But he, from my knowledge, he did try to own a team, or he was an owner of a team. I'm shocked that no other black person like Magic Johnson or whatever jumped in that lane and tried to buy up the NBA.
He's in there. Magic Johnson got like a piece of the Washington, the football team.
You know what I'm saying?
He got.
There should be more black ownership in sports
Yep.
and in music as well. And I said this. I said it man. It got to be more than just a slogan now, guys. It got to be showing and proving at this point, because look at the music industry. Something that we created, something that we formed, but somebody threw some dollars in our face because they said, okay, y'all poor anyway. We threw dollars in y'all face, but here's the catch. Y'all don't own y'all masters.
Right.
Y'all don't own your own music. We own that.
Right. Because
when we really didn't need them in the first place.
Right.
Even you can survive as an artist in your own city. Look how big New York is. New York artists. See, here's the thing. Our downfall is trying to have what they have in order to feel accepted. Our downfall is to be globally known. Bruh, what is it called? Fame is a hell of a drug. If these pioneers in hip hop would have just stayed in New York, eventually, it would have took longer, but eventually the word would have spread and got around. And what that would have did for each city upon unifying, we would have had our own network, something that we made that's ours, that they have no part of, they can't capitalize on it or colonize it, right? And today we would have had black ownership within that industry, and they would have had no place in it. And we wouldn't be crying and complaining about, oh my goodness, I'm in a slave deal. Check these terms out. I'm in a slave deal. I can't get out. They controlling what we say and how we said it. The narrative is the propaganda machine. None of these ills would have happened if you didn't want to all of a sudden want instant gratification. I want the Bentley. I want the car. I want the chain. I want Shorty to respect me. She gonna respect you with none of that. You just gotta carry it like a man and stand on 10 toes and carry things right. But since you painted this narrative in this fantasy, and he was the only one at that time, that white guy, that can provide it for you at the expense of your soul and the long term of having your money, then he gave you crumbs. And he took the whole pie. Now you're complaining about it. It's a pattern. Every time we let them in something, they colonize it, control it, and conquer us with it. But as long as we see the shiny goals and the instant gratification and how people will look at us in a certain light, come on, bro. People got, us as a people got to think deeper than that, man.
Well, let me say this. One thing I don't think is probably we not. I don't know if I don't think anybody's discussed this, but yet. But one of the things is like there's probably there's an illusion of influence with these celebrities and so on and so forth. They don't own the platform, so they don't own they can be demonetized. They don't own the distribution channels and so on and so forth. There probably isn't enough like discussion around how to if even if these people left, yeah, I believe that they should go off, and sometimes you would think it's a grave moral failure that we have all these black elites and celebrities and there isn't an independent platform. But politically, they've been historically black people have been sabotaged, and having a platform requires protection from sabotage. It requires capital. It requires regulatory access that the government provides, and the government has historically and systemically attacked black, wealth projects in the past. So it's like it may not be. and the voice and the influence that a lot of these celebrities have can be easily just washed away if you piss off the wrong person, especially since you don't control the distribution channels and the platforms. So I don't know. It's like you damned if you do, you damned if you don't.
Yeah, but again, you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm just Hey man, it's Ramadan. So I want to say I feel like, you know, us talking here, on the podcast and, you know, these conversations been going on for decades now. I feel like it's just now time for everybody to put their money where their mouth is, you know what I mean? And I don't know who said it earlier, but everything starts small. You wouldn't have to run into these type of problems if you would just put your money where your mouth is, rent out a small little warehouse, rent out a small little place, start in your inner city, start with your family, your friends, you know what I mean? Might be tempting to go buy from that place, that market, go make your own miniature market, you know what I mean? You might be tempting to go do a show at that venue, go make your own little show. It might not be too many people going to that show, but go do your own show. Um, Go, you know, make your own website. I feel like it should be, skills makes amazing beats. It should be a skills website for real, where you can buy beats instead of beatstars.com. It should be a skills mega website. I feel like we should start small. It should be a Governor Mansions. I think he already does have a website actually. So that's already done. It should be a good website. We got to put our money where our mouth is. No more YouTube beats. I mean, it's time to put your money where your mouth is. Even myself, why go on YouTube and get a beat when I can support Gov or Skills with theirs? You know what I mean? Why, go to that store when it might not be as big as Walmart, but is a small mom and pop's shop. So, I mean, everything hip hop, entertainment, because, we are the kings and queens of this entertainment thing. And I feel like a lot of these things, like what happened at that event, will not happen if I won't say it wouldn't happen, but 90% of our problems would be fixed at least.
Yeah, it's cut dry. A lot of things can be avoided if we, you know, had our own events and had our own thing going on, our independency. But I still think that we need an apology. They should be sued, or punched in the face, either one, or both. You know, get some money, then I'm gonna punch you in your face. Maybe I can help you fix your Tourette's problem or something like that. You know, you can start stuttering or whatever. But
I think
it just need to, you know what I'm saying? It need an apology, man. It's just plain and simple. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? For your team. We need an apology. I'm with Jan. We don't talk of apologies. Really don't need, save your apology, but just out of GP, you know what I'm saying? Just out of principle, because it's going to start a trend of people with Tourette's that's going around calling people the N-word. You know what I'm saying? And getting away with it. I like to see that happen in the streets, and everybody's not privy or intellectual to know or care to know if a person got a problem. He tried that walking up Pennsylvania Avenue, he gonna get cured, and he gonna get cured real quick. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a miracle. We like, I can talk straight now. Boy, they done beat the sense of me. You know what I'm saying? So I take that. What you say,
Yeah,
Gov?
yeah. Nobody gonna apologize if they don't think it's a mistake. If it's not a mistake, you're not gonna apologize for it. So yeah, like you said, it's time to start going upside people's head.
right. And actually, whatchamacall, I wouldn't even, like the same way, see, they get mad when actors say they're not going to support the Emmys. They get mad when artists say they're not going to support the Grammys. And like the BAFTA, all these things. I think that's the thing to do. Stop supporting that. They get to the point when they talking about anytime we gotta ask for an apology, that's coming from a point of weakness. You know what I mean? Don't ask for an
Yep.
apology. Just stop participating. You want us to come, treat us like you want us to come. You know what I mean? Invite us. Treat us like the guests instead of treating us like the house servants or whatever like that. You know what I mean? So I think that's what the big thing is. And until we get to the point where we stop looking for them to favor, stop looking for them to accept, and we just moving in our own acceptance, you know what I mean? I think when we get to that point, that's that point of power then. Then at that point, they have to start saying, all right, now we going to have to, all right, case in point. They sent all these people, remember we had the whole Afghanistan thing going on, right? And they got an issue over there with the, with adults and children, right? So what did they do over there? They said, all right, y'all, we know this is what they do, but y'all going to have to respect the fact that this is what these folks is doing. They don't want to tell us nothing like that. We ain't even trying to do nothing on that level. So until we, you know what I'm saying? So I say we got to get to the point where no more apologies, no more trying to be nice and bucking down and, you know what I mean, all of this that we keep doing, no more of that. We just got to be on our business, and if y'all don't like it, you don't like it. And I think they're going to get to the point and say, hey, these folks ain't playing. We got to respect them.
Right. If you ain't going to do it if you know a fight going to break out. If we act the fool in your establishment because somebody called us a nigga, somebody got out of pocket, they going to stop doing it. We will ruin the whole night. Will Smith slapped Chris Rock for cracking a joke. It's time for us to start slapping white people for getting out of pocket.
Yeah, where was Will Smith at, man? Where's Will Smith when you need him? He should have been there. The volcano from out of Iceland, they come to take over the rap game like the white man. Hiller the Hitler, photobomb at Yahoo, read it on missile. Watch me do it like the Pointer Sisters. Slip arsenic in your corn liquor. Two bigger L's than that Aubrey nigga. From Pappy Mays in the past, the Mays in the church is vacant. A preacher with Bobby trapped in the basement. I'm laughing, just imagine the sleep